I, Veronica Mueni Nduva.
The Secretary General of the East African Community, Veronica Mueni Nduva, must be clearing her closet as she prepares to exit the top regional executive job after serving for 2 years.
So help me God.
Kenya unprecedentedly had two individuals serving in the position on two separate occasions during the 5-year non-renewable tenure, the first having been Dr. Peter Mathuki, who was replaced by Veronica Mueni Nduva to serve the remainder of the term. Her appointment was after Mathuki was recalled from the position in June 2024 and reassigned to Moscow as an ambassador. The members of the East African Legislative Assembly had threatened to impeach Mathuki on accusations of financial impropriety involving the misappropriation of $6.6 million, equivalent to 23.3 billion shillings. The East African Legislative Assembly Committee on Legal, Rules and Privileges investigated the accusations brought against the ex-Secretary General Mathuki, but the Assembly has twice failed to deliberate on the findings due to a lack of quorum resulting from some of the states skipping the business. Rule 13 of the East African Legislative Assembly dictates that half of the elected members of the Assembly must be present to deliberate on such a business, 3 of whom must be from each of the partner states. Besides Kenya, 4 other East African Community states, which include Uganda, Tanzania and Burundi, have previously held the position of the Secretary General, leaving out South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo and the newest community joiner, Somalia.
When we are thinking of the next Secretary General, we need to support a Secretary General who is going to revamp the East African community, because right now the East African community is not running smoothly as it's supposed to run due to financial constraints.
South Sudan is highly anticipated to be the next in line to appoint the Secretary General, having joined the community before the Democratic Republic of Congo and Somalia ever thought of it. Information from the corridors of the East African Community headquarters in Arusha, Tanzania, shows that a section of South Sudanese representatives to Iyala are eagerly warming up for the appointment. Politicians at the Regional Assembly and the staff of the East African Community are jittery about leaving the opportunity to South Sudan to appoint the next Secretary General.
There has been a lot of debate whether South Sudan will take that position. The reason being that the community itself is facing a financial crisis. And one of the reasons is for failure by partner states, some partner states, to remit their contributions. And the Republic of South Sudan is one of them.
If we are to appoint a Secretary General from a partner state which is not contributing, it will be a dilemma. First of all, the funds to pay this Secretary General, where are they going to come from if his country is not paying? Secondly, how is this Secretary General going to mobilize funds from other partner states if his own country is not paying?
The irresponsiveness of the Juba government in fulfilling its financial contributions to the community has sparked the uneasiness. Each of the 8 partner states is required to contribute an equal amount worth $7 million, approximately 24.8 billion shillings, to finance the activities of the community, but South Sudan is among the 4 defaulting states. By the end of the financial 2024-25, the Democratic Republic of Congo had yet to contribute 3 years since it joined the community, leading to an accumulated $20.7 million, approximately 73.3 billion shillings, that it owes the economic bloc. Burundi followed with arrears amounting $17 million, an equivalent of 60 billion shillings, followed by South Sudan in the 3rd place with an arrear of $15.5 million, or equivalent to 53 billion shillings.
I think as we talk now, the Republic of South Sudan, the community is demanding up to 26. It's not so much as such anyway, but it's up to 26 million US dollars. That's about 4 years.
It's deliberate. Why I say that it's deliberate, some of these countries which are not contributing to the EAC are contributing to other regional blocs. So that gives us a signal that other countries are deliberately not contributing.
You can't tell me that the Democratic Republic of Congo doesn't have money. Ever since they joined in 2021, they contributed only $1 million.
The community's approved budget for the financial 2025-26 is $109 million, approximately 385 billion shillings, which amount has been maintained over the years. The 8 partner states are required to raise $56 million, approximately 186 billion shillings, towards the budget. However, half of the states are diligent contributors, with the founding 3 partner states that shared an umbilical cord during the formation of the community, that is Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, topping the list alongside Rwanda. The financial starvation has resulted in a crisis which threatens to stall the activities of the institutions of the community.
The community is facing a financial crisis. Most of the organs, not only Yara, most of the organs are not generally functioning because there is no money. The money which was contributed by the 4 countries, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and Rwanda, it is done. So now most of the organs don't have money to run them. Salaries, some of the organs, their employees have not been paid up to about 4 to 5 months.
The East African Court of Justice, they have a backlog of 350 cases. And these are cases which need to be cleared. But they can't be cleared because there are no funds.
A section of the financially starved representatives to the East African Legislative Assembly and the staff of the community are advocating that any other remitting partner state should appoint the next Secretary General. The suggestion puts Uganda next in line, having held the seat 15 years ago when it was represented by Amanya Mushega, who served from 2001 to 2006. They disagree with the notion that South Sudan can be allowed to commit to contribute all the arrears in exchange for being allowed to appoint the next Secretary General, because the region cannot afford a second disappointment.
When the turn for South Sudan to be the chair for the summit, one of the conditions was that they should clear before they chair the summit. But they did, and they paid once. That was the end of it. So I think we need a partner state that contributes annually, and one of these partner states that have not disappointed has always been Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya.
However, the regional players are alive to the fact that Uganda holds a major responsibility in determining whether the Juba government will have its way in appointing the top executive officer of the community. Kampala is accused of blocking sanctions against the defaulting states in view of broader trading benefits, of which South Sudan is a major export market. It is anticipated that Uganda could decline to take over the responsibility.
In reality, it is not going to be possible because it has serious diplomatic implications. Assume that Uganda now takes over the position. What will happen? We have very good bilateral relations with the Republic of South Sudan. So that means we shall have participated in a fight against them. So diplomatically and because of other interests, it will not be possible that Uganda will field what? A Secretary General. They may just leave it to have an acting one among one of those deputy Secretary Generals.
Under the current financing mechanism, each East African Community partner state contributes $7 million, approximately 24.8 billion shillings annually, but it is deemed unfair given the varying sizes of the economies. During the celebrations held to mark the 25th anniversary of the East African Community, President William Ruto of Kenya announced an alternative financing mechanism.
The adoption of the 65% equal and 35% assessed financial formula is an important step towards equitable contribution and financial stability. However, I urge partner states to uphold their commitment to the timely disbursement of statutory contributions and fast-track the implementation of the sustainable financing mechanism.
However, the financing model is deemed too complicated and risks leading the community back to the same state of affairs. Others have argued in the past that the remittances to the community should be from a levy imposed on all imports.
If we are collecting from imports and the money is remitted directly to what? To Arusha, no country is going to default, including those which will be at war.
From the look of things, the failure of some of the East African Community partner states to remit contributions has to do with the level of animosity and suspicion among the members. Both the Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi have unresolved sour relationship with Rwanda. It could take finding a solution to the issues before return to normalcy, or the heads of state who are scheduled to convene on 7th March 2026 could choose to ignore the concern raised about non-remittance by South Sudan. Jackson Onyango, NTV.
Marks the end of our event.